Welcome to AGCO's Jackson, Minnesota operations. Let me give you a quick tour of our facility and show you what all we do here in Jackson. This is our visitor center, called Intimity Center, meaning where innovation meets productivity. It is a 16,000 square foot center, which houses a retail store, auditorium, conference space, catering cafeteria, and a showroom with interactive displays, product history, and equipment displays. Since we are currently operating in a precautionary state to protect our employees from potential coronavirus exposure, we have filmed this tour after production hours. Our plant is still operating daily to produce tractors and sprayers to help farmers feed the world. Since its inception, AGCO Jackson has always been a non-union facility. We have about 16 acres under roof, with the entire campus encompassing about 167 acres. Approximately 870 full-time employees work at the Jackson facility. You've been seeing some of our showroom displays here. Up these stairs are offices and conference rooms. Here's our retail store, our catering cafeteria, and our theater. Our guided tours begin here in the original plant building built back in 1970. This building was added onto in 2011 to house the assembly of our tractor lines, including high horsepower Massey Ferguson, Challenger track tractors, and Fendt track tractors. We use a mixed model line concept, meaning we do not build all one model of tractor for a time and then switch to another. The tractors we assemble come down the line at any time relative to how the orders come in. There is a main assembly line, which you see in the foreground, with a sub-assembly line alongside that you see behind, and a kitting warehouse which you see beyond that to supply parts to all of the assembly areas. This tractor line has an inline paint system. There is also a separate paint line, which you will see later in our other building. You will see throughout the plant the use of a quality gate concept. Rather than discovering problems mid or even worse at the end of assembly, we have quality gates every few operations that thoroughly test the work done in the previous operations. This makes fixing any problems easier and allows for communications of a solution to be sent to the workers involved in those areas to prevent the problem from happening again. This brings us to the end of our tractor assembly line, and we'll move on to our application assembly line, which is housed in another building. This is the beginning of our application line, where all of our models of rogators and terrigators are built. This line also runs on a mixed model concept, so you can see any combination of our models of rogators and terrigators coming down the line at any time. Just as in the tractor building, there is a main assembly line, supported by sub-assembly lines. On this assembly line, you see the main line immediately to your right, with the sub-assembly lines running on either side of this main line. We follow a 5S method throughout the plant. This means everything has a designated place and is always returned there. You can see marked areas on the floor that indicate locations where everything should be. Tool carts and parts carts have only the tools and parts which are needed in that specific operation. This saves time and also helps avoid errors. We are now coming up the backside of the far sub-assembly line, where the booms are sub-assembled before being brought to the main line and added to the equipment. There are 3 paint lines in this building. We're coming along a paint oven on your right now. First, you will see our powder coat application, here to the right. As you see, we send small parts down this line. Our powder coating is a 2-process automated system. Coming up on your right is the first step of this process, powder primer application. You'll see these parts up high to your right. We also have 2 liquid paint lines, one large and one medium, to your right. Large parts are manually painted, while medium parts is an automated system. We are now entering the Fabrication and Weld shop, which was a 175,000 square foot addition to the plant in 1995. Another 29,137 square feet was added in 2013. Join me for a bird's eye view of the shop. This building houses our incoming raw steel at the far left here, followed by 6 lasers which cut flat and tube steel, 7 press brakes from 40 ton up to 350 ton, 9 robotic weld systems, including 2 hybrid laser robotic weld cells, as you see here, and 101 human welders. Thank you for joining me for this overview of the AGCO Jackson, Minnesota operations. If you're interested in more detail of the processes and amazing technology here at our plant in Jackson, make sure you watch for upcoming mini tours that take a deeper dive into some of the operations here at the AGCO Jackson plant.